Complex numbers. At IBHL level, this becomes a very difficult topic for some students. So I have got many requests. One of the questions which I recently received is here for you to understand. Well, in case you want to learn from me, feel free to send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. We are taking students at present. Now let's look into the solution of this problem. Consider z minus 1 whole cube equals to iota or I, where z belongs to complex numbers. The roots of this equation are omega 1, omega 2, and omega 3, where imaginary part of omega 2 is greater than 0 and that of omega 3 is less than 0. We have three parts to this question. One is verify that omega 1 equals to 1 plus e to the power of I pi by 6 is a root of this equation. Part B is find omega 2 in terms of a plus e to the power of I theta and also omega 3 as b plus e to the power of I phi. Part C is let the roots represent points A, B, and C on the Argand diagram. Plot these points on the Argand diagram. So we'll now take solution of this problem. So let's begin with part A, where we need to verify that omega 1, 1 plus e to the power of I pi by 6 is the root of this equation, right? Equation given to us is z minus 1 whole cube equals to I. Now, solution means what? If omega 1 is the solution, that is 1 plus e to the power of I pi by 6, in that case, substituting this value for z should satisfy the equation. That's what it means, right? So it is not a very difficult question. Let's substitute z as 1 plus e to the power of I pi by 6. So we get 1 plus e to the power of I pi by 6 minus 1 whole cube, right? Now let's see what is this equal to. So 1 and minus 1 cancel. So we get e to the power of I pi by 6 whole cube, right? So 3 by 6 gives you pi by 2. So we get e to the power of I pi by 2. Now you could write this in terms of cos of pi by 2 plus I sine pi by 2, right? Correct? So that is how we can write this. Now you know what is cos pi by 2, right? Cos pi by 2 is 0 and sine pi by 2 is 1, right? So we get 1 plus I times 1 and this is equal to I, which is the right hand side. Simple as that. So that is how we can show that 1 plus e to the power of I pi by 6 is indeed the root of this equation. Correct? So I think this part is absolutely clear to you. Let's move on to part B to find what are the other roots, right? It's a cubic equation. We are expecting three roots. So before we move forward, one thing which you should also notice is that e to the power of I pi by 2 is equal to I, right? And the equation given to us is z minus 1 whole cube equals to I. So this I can be replaced by e to the power of I pi by 2 to solve for omega 2 and omega 3. Does that make sense, right? So keeping that in mind, let us now solve for omega 2 and omega 3. Okay, so the question was z minus 1 whole cube equals to I, and we just figured it out that I could be written as e to the power of I pi by 2. Correct. Now, you should also remember that it's a periodic function and therefore it is also equals to e to the power of I pi by 2 plus 2 pi k. So now the different values of k will help us find omega 1, 2 and 3, right? So when k equals to 0, we got omega 1. For k equals to 1, we'll get omega 2. And for k equals to 2, we'll get omega 3. Is that clear to you? So that is how we are going to get all our solutions, right? So now, since we already have omega 1, let's go for omega 2. That is, we'll put k equals to 1 in this equation. So we have z minus 1 whole cube equals to e to the power of I pi by 2 plus 2 pi. Perfect. Since we have k equals to 1, correct? We are trying to find omega 1. So that is the whole idea, right? So z minus 1 will be equal to what? We'll do cube root of this, right? E to the power of I pi by 6 plus 2 pi by 3, which is e to the power of I. And when you combine them, so you get 4 plus 1, 5 pi by 6. Right? We have to write our answer as a plus e to the power of I theta. So now we have omega 1. Now we have omega 2 as z is this. So the solution will be z equals to, taking 1 on the other side, 1 plus e to the power of I 5 pi by 6. You get the whole idea, correct? Which is in the form of a plus I to the. So you can say omega 2 equals to 1 plus e to the power of I 5 pi by 6. So in this case, what do we get? We get a equals to 1 and theta equals to 5 pi by 6. Correct? And now, after substituting k equals to 2 in this equation, we should be in a position to find omega 3 also. Correct? So let's move forward. So once again, we have z minus 1. We have z minus 1 whole cube equals to e to the power of I pi by 2 plus, let me put a bracket. We are putting k equals to, this time, 2. So 2 pi times 2, right? So we have z equals to, let me write z minus 1 first, right? E to the power of I pi by 6 plus 4 pi by 3, right? So we are doing cube root. So we have z minus 1 equals to e to the power of I. Combining these terms, so we get 8 plus 1, 9 pi by 6. So z equals to 1 plus e to the power of I 9 pi by 6. You could simplify this also and write this as 3 over 2. So now comparing with the form we need, right, we can say in this particular case, writing it in the form of omega 3 equals to 1 plus e to the power of I 9 pi by 6. We can say that b equals to 1 and phi equals to 9 pi by 6. Is that clear to you? So that is how we are going to solve this particular question up to this stage. Now we have the last part of it, which is we know the roots of all these equations, which are written here. 1 plus e to the power of I pi by 6. Omega 1 is, this is omega 2, and this is omega 3. Right? So we got the three values. Now we have to find out their values and draw them on the Argand diagram. Correct. How do we do this part? So I'll take this part in the next video. So I hope that is absolutely clear. Perfect. Well, in case you want to learn from me directly, you can send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. We conduct classes on Zoom. Thanks a lot for your time and all the best.
Who is this book for? Middle and high school students who want to go beyond the classroom? Future STEM leaders looking to develop problem-solving and analytical skills? Anyone who loves math and wants to see its real-world applications in AI, physics, and engineering.
Are you ready to explore the mathematics of the future?
Crack the numbers for future STEM leaders. Sharpen your skills, shape the future. Available soon. Visit our website to pre-order your copy and unlock your